Hello, welcome to our fourth community update. This week we'll be covering the prince's story and how narration will be unlocked in the game. It'll be slightly unusual because it's a roguelite, but nothing too crazy. There'll be some minor spoilers, but nothing that you won't discover in the first 30 minutes. Before we start, I need to put on my new merch. So let's go. So our story can essentially be summarized as you're stuck in a save file gone wrong. The prince himself has already been living a kind of roguelite his whole life. A roguelite, if you will. Yes, we went there, just go with it. Okay, one more. He didn't choose the roguelite chose him. Okay, I'm done. His bowler, gifted to him as a baby, sends him back in time to the last truly safe place he was in before he dies. What is a bowler? It's just a small hollow piece of jewellery shaped like a sphere, often with a kind of mesh or lattice as an outer layer. So the prince doesn't know who gave him his bowler or why. All he knows is that this secret and suspiciously convenient power has let him take huge risks to perfect the skills of acrobatics and combat in his youth. If he messes up while jumping between buildings or pulling off a crazy move in combat, well, he just dies and goes back in time to when he was last safe. Now a young man, this power has moulded him into a formidable warrior and acrobat, but this safety net has failed to teach the young prince the value of patience and strategy. While headstrong and reckless, he still cares deeply about his country and the Persian people, and desires nothing more than to keep them safe. So when a Hun force appears near the Persian border and King Perez wants to take time to strategize and establish contact with the Huns, the prince is at odds with his father. At first he obeys him, but then the prince hears stories of strange beasts and dark magic from villagers fleeing the area near the Huns' camp. Driven by his desire to protect his people, the prince secretly heads out with a small force to confront the Huns, confident in his bowler's protection. But when he reaches the camp, his force is quickly overwhelmed by the Huns, who use dark shamanic magic to wield strange powers. Defeated in combat by the Hun king Nogai himself, the prince slips into unconsciousness. Yet when he wakes up, he is not in the hands of the Huns, nor back in time. His old mentor, Sukra, has saved him, bringing him to the Oasis, a safe hidden place near the capital city. The prince quickly learns from Sukra that his rash actions, though made with good intentions, have triggered an invasion of the city by the Huns. The prince immediately sets off to stop them, but again he is bested by their dark magic and killed. The bowler's power activates and returns him to the last safe place he was in, the Oasis. The prince realizes with horror that he is stuck. His bowler won't take him back further in time, and so the Hun invasion is now irreversible. Faced with the first true test of his character, he must head into this city again and again, in a seemingly eternal loop, searching desperately for a way to stop the Hun invasion and hoping in vain for a way to reverse it. Only by confronting his weaknesses and regaining the trust of his family can he save both them and his people from his mistake, and to become the hero he has always wanted to be. Pretty heavy stuff. But how do you discover the story in a roguelite? Narrative can be tricky in a roguelite. You're doing the same run again and again, so revealing the story can be awkward, convoluted, or can simply just not make sense. This is one of the many reasons why we chose to go into early access, so as to make sure that discovering the story is clear, isn't tedious, and also that it fits well with the discovery of other gameplay elements. We want the story to arrive naturally, so it is linked to unlocking new biomes, discovering new information, and doing certain interactions. For example, you could discover a character in one biome, they talk to you about another biome, which is now unlocked. You go to the new biome and find a letter giving clues about the whereabouts of another character, and a way to unlock the path to them. Now you must do certain actions in a certain order on your next run, and so on and so forth. Not exactly groundbreaking stuff, but in this way, new information is unlocked with new biomes, new characters, new weapons. Everything is interlinked, and it gives you a real reason to do multiple runs to unlock everything. So we realised that this could quickly be too much information. So to help you keep on top of it, the prince has a mind map at his disposal. This saves and links all the clues you find about characters, locations, and interactions, so you can reference it whenever you need to. This will eventually help you to figure out exactly what you need to do. So at early access launch, you will only have the first story act in the game. But don't worry, there's plenty of other weapons, medallions, and other things to unlock to keep you occupied until the next story act arrives. And that's basically it for now. The next update we'll have is the actual game launch. So hopefully that goes well. And yeah, thanks for listening, and hope to see you on launch day.